They can reveal themselves at a very early age. We fight for our own interests before we've even taken our first breath. This is Kerry Huntrods. She's 36 weeks pregnant, and like any mother-to-be, she imagined that her pregnancy would be a harmonious time.
You have a real picture of blooming mum and, you know, mum and baby in harmony, and, you know, the mum's body growing in this really lovely natural way.
Everything appeared to be going fine until a visit to the midwife.
It should be very difficult, I'm sure. I went to this routine antenatal appointment and had a little chat with the midwife, and we sort of talked about what I was thinking about for the birth and things like that. And then she took my blood pressure. It was like just sky high, and I was horrified. I was like, I can't believe it, what do you mean? And she sort of explained, well, you know, you've got, I think, pregnancy high blood pressure.
Kerry didn't know it, but her body was competing with her unborn child. A competition that's fought out in every pregnancy. But in Kerry's case, her baby was in danger of causing her real harm.
You don't expect to have a tiny little baby that's doing something to you that's actually negative and detrimental to, you know, my health. And I suppose I found it really hard to get to grips with the fact that that was possible, because I sort of assume it's the other way around, that, you know, will I influence the baby?
At this late stage of every pregnancy, mother and baby are striving for different things. The theory is the mother's body is ready to give birth. She starts to withdraw food from the baby by lowering her blood pressure. But the baby doesn't want to be born yet. The longer it spends in the womb being fed, the longer it delays the challenges of the outside world. So it forces up the mother's blood pressure to get more food. In rare cases, the baby is too successful for its own good. The conflict gets out of control, and the mother's blood pressure rises dramatically, which can be fatal for them both.
I'm suddenly thinking, is the baby okay? You know, the baby's given me high blood pressure, and am I now not feeding it properly? Is it all right?
Fortunately, Kerry's condition was diagnosed promptly, and 2 weeks later she gave birth to a healthy baby girl, Rosa. Life's a battle from the nursery onwards, and we instinctively deploy any advantage we have to compete. And that's not just us. Take a look at these piglets. These little chaps were born just a few weeks ago, but even to reach this tender young age, they've had to struggle. When just a few hours old, they were weak and vulnerable. For a piglet, it's a time when mortality is greatest. And in order to survive, they needed to eat as soon as possible to pile on the pounds. With up to a dozen brothers and sisters in a litter, all these pigs have to throw their weight around to get the nourishment they need. And that means getting the best teat. Research has shown that with pigs, not all teats are equal. Some are more equal than others. And in general, the best milk comes from the teat nearest the mother's head. Let's put their competitive instincts to the test. Do the heaviest pigs win the best teats? I can only find out by weighing them. But first, I've got to catch them. Now I've rounded them up, I'll weigh each one and label them.
4.5 kilos, 4.5.
So, to the test. Will the heaviest of the litter force their way to the best teats near the mother's head? Yes, they do. The heaviest piglets, weighing up to 5 kilos, are feeding from the best teats, while the weaker piglets, weighing as little as 2 kilos, are down near the tail. Almost from birth, piglets lay claim to the best teat, and once they've claimed their teat, there's no moving them. So in general, the big pig at the best position gets bigger, whilst the little pig, shoved to the tail end, remains smaller. From the start, youngsters across the animal world use what they have to get their own way. And we are no different. Younger children in a family can't rely on muscle to get their own way, but they instinctively know just what to do to win their parents' attention. In this experiment at the University of Michigan, the mother's been asked to play with only the oldest child.
This man driving a fire truck?
This immediately brings out the competitive instincts in the younger children as they try to win Mum's attention.
Look at this truck there with all those blocks in it.
Cannon, you don't want to shoot